Disneyland and Walt Disney World are arguably the two top theme park destinations in the world. Each has its own style and has different things to offer than the other. But even though they are separated by 2,500 miles, they do have some things that are similar to each other. Most of these similarities are primarily found within Disneyland Park and Magic Kingdom Park here at Walt Disney World. Throughout their history, the lands and the layout of Disneyland and Magic Kingdom were pretty similar, but there is one big difference between the two parks, and that big thing is that over in Disneyland they have New Orleans Square, and over here in the Magic Kingdom they replaced New Orleans Square with Liberty Square. But what if I told you there was plans to build a way bigger and better New Orleans Square here in Disney World, but it would be right here at what is currently known as Disney Springs?
The Magic Kingdom. This, of course, is the place that most clearly reflects the man Walt Disney.
Epcot Center, Walt Disney's greatest dream, is now a reality.
This is the Disney MGM Studios theme park at Walt Disney World in Florida.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, and I am proud to join all the animals and characters in welcoming you to Disney's Animal Kingdom.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
So yes, you heard that right. There was plans to build a massive New Orleans Square style area right over here where I'm at in Disney Springs. But as you all know, this place wasn't always called Disney Springs. It actually had a lot of names, first going as the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village, then the Walt Disney World Village, then the Disney Village Marketplace, then into Downtown Disney, and finally into Disney Springs as we know it today. But back before the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village was created, Disney actually had a lot of really big plans for this place. It would of course be a shopping area, a place to eat, a place to live, and was actually supposed to have monorails and people movers transporting guests all around the area. And as you can tell, some of those things did happen and some of those things did not. Plans and ideas for this area of Walt Disney World have actually changed a lot over the years. But when Disney expanded the area of the Walt Disney World Village in 1977, they added a large recreation of a 19th century paddle steamer riverboat. This new addition to the village was called the Empress Lily, actually named after Walt Disney's wife Lillian, and it was a place that offered dining options and lounges. And yes, this same boat is still at Disney Springs till this day, although it's not called the Empress Lily anymore. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I see this boat, it definitely does remind me of something that I would see in a video somewhere down in New Orleans. Well, if you had ever thought that same thing as me, then that means that you are right. It was actually made to look like a riverboat you would see in New Orleans because this whole area around it was supposed to be the East Coast version of New Orleans Square. Now, there are going to be very few artist renderings and very vague details about this area because plans for this New Orleans Square area here at Walt Disney World were scrapped pretty quickly. But we do still have a few pretty awesome details that I can share with you and hopefully paint a picture of what this area would have looked like. So according to Dick Nunes, who was the president of Disney theme parks at the time, he said that from the Empress Lily, we're going into a New Orleans street and you'll walk right into a beautiful New Orleans hotel. And this hotel was supposed to be a 600-room hotel that of course kept up with the New Orleans French Quarter theme. However, the name of that hotel was unfortunately never announced. The hotel guest rooms would have been hidden in buildings resembling a cotton mill or boatwright shop, and the actual guest rooms would be on the upper levels of the buildings, and the bottom level would be for shops, restaurants, and entertainment, which is kind of a similar style to how Disney's Boardwalk Resort is set up. The total area would have been around 120,000 square feet. There would have been areas called Royal Circle, Rue Royale, and the Crafts Alley. One of the restaurants actually had a name and it was going to be called the Garden Restaurant. And just like in Disneyland, there would have been a replica of their restaurant in New Orleans Square called Cafe Orleans. I think it's weird how I say New Orleans, but I have to say Orleans. Like, it doesn't feel right to say Cafe Orleans. But anyways, one of the many entertainment options that was going to be offered over here in this area was going to be a preservation jazz hall. Of course, if it's New Orleans themed, you gotta have your jazz. And there is also one artist concept rendering of a building that looks exactly like the facade of Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean. but this definitely wasn't going to be the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, because Disney World had actually just built their Pirates of the Caribbean, and originally they weren't going to build the Pirates of the Caribbean at all over here in Florida. So what I'm thinking is that might have been the facade of the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, but inside could possibly have been the Blue Bayou restaurant. But that is just my speculation, my guess. Definitely no confirmation from Disney, from the artist renderings, from anything from back then. And I don't know about you, but this New Orleans Square that was supposed to be here at Disney World would have been amazing. New Orleans Square over at Disneyland is definitely one of the best themed lands that Disney has ever created. And just knowing that they were trying to build a bigger and better, more spectacular New Orleans Square here at Disney World is amazing, and I wish that it would have come true. Disney didn't get to build this area here in Florida, but they were able to build a New Orleans style hotel. Over here is the Port Orleans Riverside Resort, and then just across this way is Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter Resort. They are both really great resorts. I've never had the opportunity to stay at either one, but just from the theming and walking around, these are definitely two of my favorite resorts to come walk around and experience the atmosphere. Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter and Disney's Riverside, both really great resorts, and plus they're right next to Disney Springs, and they might have actually got the inspiration to build the Port Orleans hotel resorts from the original concepts of the New Orleans Square that was supposed to be right across the way over at Disney Springs. And that is the history of the unbuilt New Orleans Square over here at Walt Disney World. So what did you guys think about the video? Let me know down below. Did you even know about New Orleans Square that was supposed to be over here at Disney World, supposed to be at the Walt Disney World Village? Did you even know about the old Walt Disney World Village, like Buena Vista Shopping Village, things that were there before downtown Disney and Disney Springs? Let me know down below in the comments, or you can always message me on my Instagram at marcusq.mq. I'll respond to all you guys. If you are interested in learning more history about Disney Springs, downtown Disney, over here at Walt Disney World, I'll leave a link in the description explaining the whole history of that place. But I'm definitely sad that they didn't build this New Orleans style area here at Disney World, because I know that it would have been amazing and it would have been one of the best areas that Disney had created. But hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, just do me a favor and leave the video a like down below. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe down below so you can keep up with all the videos. I do Disney history videos, vlogs, Universal videos. But guys, thank you very much for watching. It's kind of fun to do the impossible, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.